It's episode 1258, and it's a Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Nashville, it's artist, producer, mogul, Derek Miner.
What's happening?
And just down the street there, our managing editor downtown, Emily Brown.
Hey, y'all.
Marty is traveling this week. I don't know where he is. We need to find out. And Jesse, we've talked to you guys about this show he's been working on behind the scenes over the last few months. He's at the finish line. He's in the weeds. So he asked, could I focus on my show? And then I'll be back next week. And we said, yes, of course. Finish strong. So there you go. Jesse's doing some TV stuff.
Only if I can be the lead actor is what we said. So,
I think the show, without giving anything away, I think it's about like experimentation of things, of theories, of conspiracies kind of thing. So I think to star in it, you would have to like get set on fire or something. Like,
oh yeah, no, I'm good.
I think that's what they're doing. I think they're like, I think it's like extreme scenarios type of a show. He'll tell us more about it later.
I'm not very interested in being set on fire.
Yeah, that's right.
When he starts making rom-coms, then he can call me up and I'll do that.
Wait, you want to be the lead in a rom-com that Jesse's going to produce?
Not the lead. That feels like a lot of pressure, but I would like to maybe be like a fun extra who's doing way too much in the background.
No. You need to be like the sassy best friend who's like speaking the truth.
That is a role I was born to play. I've been playing it for about 30 years now, so I will happily do that role.
Wait, you're the friend. This is what I envision. You're the friend that all of your friends who have relationship drama, they probably turn to you or dump all their drama on you so you can help them fix it. Is that true?
That is very true. The amount of relationship advice I've given over the years compared to the amount of relationships I've actually been in is pretty astonishing.
It needs to be dump him, girl. You know what to do.
That is typically advice number one. And then when they say no, I'm like, if we're going to work through this, then here's what you can do. And then I give them sound advice. And I will say, I have multiple friends who have told me that they got married to someone that they were like, if I hadn't talked to you, maybe I wouldn't have made it work. So
wait. Okay, so you got them together because you was like, make it work. This is a good thing. See it through. Don't get scared off. So you like encourage them to stick it out.
That was one relationship, and then there was another where they were just honest. Like she was kind of having some stuff she was dealing with, and she didn't want to deal with it and then continue the relationship. Like she just wanted to break things off, and I was like, I think. I don't want to get too into it because she does listen to this. But I just kind of had to tell her, like, I think you need to talk to your boyfriend about this and work things through.
We need to do the Emily dating show.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, and first contestant, Emily Brown. No one else gets any more dating advice until I get to start dating.
Let's do that. Let's do the Emily. Hey, look, I got some homies. I'll be like, hey,
Derek, if you've had friends I can date this entire time and you haven't mentioned them, I'm going to be so annoyed.
I'm sorry. We're gonna do the matchmaker thing. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the dating show.
Speaking of dates, good dates, ideas. You just got back from Beyonce. How was it?
Oh my gosh!
I think going to a Beyonce concert would be a good first date. You know.
Expensive one.
Not that expensive. I got some they were not great seats, but they were only $60, which is definitely the cheapest concert I've been to in a while.
Oh, you won. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, was I in the nosebleeds? Absolutely. But I was there and I breathed the same air as Beyonce, so I'll count it. No, I don't know if it'd be a good date idea because I was pretty locked in on Beyonce and I would definitely ignore whoever I was with. She is a phenomenal performer. Like, regardless of how you feel about her music, and we're not even gonna get into the whole is Cowboy Carter a country album thing. She is just a phenomenal performer. Like from her, like her vocals are amazing. Her dancing's amazing. The visuals that she had, like the story she tells through her visuals, it is just fantastic.
Question. Was it, I know it was a Cowboy Carter tour. I know it's her country album. Was the entire show country songs, or did she go into her R&B and pop hits?
She did a little bit. So she did, there's kind of a section where it is about a 3-hour show. So there is a section, she doesn't have an opener, which I
don't think I've listened to 3 hours of Beyonce music in my life. That's a lot of Beyonce.
You are missing out. She did a part of she did a couple songs from her Renaissance album. She did do a medley of sort of like her greatest hits, like Single Ladies, If I Were a Boy, Irreplaceable. That was a great time. So
did all the girls who were like there on like girls' night out, like was like Single Ladies like the peak anthem? They were all like.
It did feel like the stadium got a little louder at that point. So
that's how I envisioned the Beyonce crowd. Is like a lot of girls' night out, mom's night out. It
was a great time. I will say. So I was in Atlanta. So I went to the first night. On the last, she's doing kind of like mini residencies in each city she goes to. On the last night, she brought out Jay-Z. That would have been pretty cool to see Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
That would have been super cool.
So you got to cross it off your bucket list.
This was a bucket list one. Like I've always liked Beyonce. I mean, this is not a surprise to anyone. I'm a pop music fan. And I've like wanted to see her. I loved Cowboy Carter so much. Like there was something about it I really, really connected with. I think there's a lot
You're from Texas.
I think that's it. Like it is a Texas thing. And like, I did grow up on country and like there are country elements in there despite what angry voters said, but I just really connected with it. So this was one that it was like, if I'm gonna see Beyonce on tour, it's gonna be Cowboy Carter, and I'm thrilled.
Was
by that.
the Beyonce's crowd is an R&B pop crowd? Like, was it a different crowd because this was the country album? Like, were there like country people there, or was it like her normal fan base?
You know what's really funny is everyone was dressed up very country. Like there was a lot of denim, a lot of cowboy hats, cowboy boots, but it was having grown up in like I have family who are genuinely ranchers. It was definitely people cosplaying as cowboy or like kind of mixing like. But
did you get the vibe that the crowd or people that listen to country music, or this was Beyonce fans wearing cowboy hats?
This was Beyonce fans wearing cowboy hats.
Got it.
So
that makes sense. Derek, would you go to this concert? Would you go to this tour?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Would you, if it was not the country album, would you have gone to a different tour?
No.
Okay. Well.
What if your wife wanted to go?
That'd probably be the only reason I would go. But I will say this. She performed at BET Experience and I went to the BET Awards and I did see her show there. It was actually like a surprise show or something at the Staples Center. And it was really one of the best shows I've ever seen. And
that's what I'm saying.
It's just not my crowd.
Right.
Like it's just that's the thing. But the show, crazy.
I can appreciate it as a spectacle. Like I'm not. It's not what I want to listen to in the car. But wow, that was an experience.
She is a performer in the truest sense. Like just. Really a one of one. It was amazing.
Now, I know I'm walking on sacred territory here, but the listeners know what a Taylor Swift fan you are. And you went to 17 of her concerts.
I went to 4.
Okay. Felt like 17. That was how much you talked about it. But apples to apples, which is the better concert?
Tay or Beyonce?
Are you trying to get me killed?
Not killed. Who's killing over this? No,
someone out there probably is. So here's the thing. Like I loved Cowboy Carter and I connected it to on a really deep level. So much more of Taylor Swift's music has connected with me on personal ways. So it was a different experience for me. Like I will say performance wise, Beyonce is the better performer. Like she is dancing.
Hold on. Let me clarify what you just said so I understand. Yeah. You connect with the lyrics, the life inspired lyrics of a basic white girl instead of a global icon black lady. So you're saying that you connect with Taylor more because of a more shared experience.
You call Taylor a basic white girl?
Yeah,
crazy. I wouldn't personally use those words.
But I'm not surprised by this, Emily, is what I'm saying. That you connect with
basic white girl is great.
Yeah, I'm not using those words and I'm not repeating them.
Have you seen her dance routines? I mean, like the
that's
clips.
The thing. Like she's not a dancer. Like
that's what I'm saying. She performs like a basic white girl in sequins. She's like wearing outfits, but she's standing there.
It's an entertaining time still. I'm never going to say a bad word against Taylor unless warranted. But like Taylor is like the show is just so different. Like I don't think you can compare it because it really is like Beyonce is the better performer. Like she is. That is at the end of the day. But I had just as much fun at all of the Eras tours I went to as I did Cowboy Carter because
Cameron is just trying to twist you in pretzels. I'm surprised you fell for the bait.
So you work hard to check off bucket list items. Derek, do you have any bucket list items that you want to do? Like she wanted to see a Beyonce concert. She finally did it.
I got to get to Tokyo. I've been trying to get out there for a minute. I need to get
same.
to Tokyo.
Hey, like literally Cohen and I he brought it up a few weeks ago, and I just on a whim went to Google Flights and just put together a rough itinerary just to see what would it ballpark budget, what would it cost? What, you know, like my son wants to do this. It's a bucket list for me too. What would it take for the two of us to go? I'm at around $10,000 for 6 days.
Oh my God.
And I'm not like, there's no theme parks in that. That's like transportation, hotel, food, and, you know, a little bit of shopping money and seeing a couple of sites. But it's a lot of money, dude. Tokyo is like really expensive.
Mm-hmm. And I can't go by myself. You know the kids want to go, and you know Amethea wants to go.
Yeah, so that's 4 of you. So you're gonna be at 15.
Yeah. So
that's where I was like, I told Cohen, I was like, as your dad, I want to go. I want this to happen for you, but maybe this is after you graduate high school, dad son trip. Give me a couple years to get there, kind of thing.
Let me save up for this. Either that, or I'm gonna have to start selling meth. I mean,
something.
I
little side hustle for
really
the
want to see the math on this because, like, I mean, I understand like Tokyo is more expensive.
The 2 round trip tickets that we, you know, and I looked at several different months, different times of the year, was around $4,500 for the 2, like right there. The hotels, you're there for 6 or 7 nights. That adds up. Then you have food, you have the taxi, getting around, going seeing things, and a little bit of shopping money because you're going to go to Tokyo. You want to go to some cool stores that aren't in the U.S. So it's just like, that's where I'm going. If I had 10 grand, we're going to have a good trip. Could I go for less than that? Yeah, but it's going to.
You don't want to go over there scraping pennies.
You're cutting corners, right?
In a hostel or something.
Yeah, you want to stay at a cool hotel in the middle of Tokyo and all that kind of stuff. You want to make a lifelong memory, you know, bucket list.
Did you look at like Airbnb just out of curiosity?
No, I'm not an Airbnb person. I'm not an
I ain't doing no Airbnb.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'll do an Airbnb, but I'm not going out the country and doing no Airbnb.
Yeah, I don't know what their standards are.
I don't know nothing about that.
That's what I did in France when I went for that month. I rented an Airbnb for a month. You gangster with it, though. You gangster with it. I'm not as gangster.
But if I'm going for 2 weeks or 4 weeks and I want to like establish myself, I'd be more likely to do a short-term rental than a hotel. But for like you're there for 6, 7 days, it's not worth the hassle of, I don't know, staying in somebody's spare room. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that.
To be clear, I had my own apartment, but
no, yes. I know it was beautiful. I saw
it. I don't speak the language, so I don't want to get out there and there's an issue and then I can't fix it. You know, because we using the Google Translate app now. Yeah, and it ain't good. So.
Yeah. Anyway, Tokyo. I didn't know that was your bucket list. That's mine too.
That's pretty much.
One of my friends just went to Tokyo, I guess last summer, and like all the pictures she was posting, I was like, this is so. It really does look like it's in the future. It's
I was to say, it feels like the future. It feels like watching a Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift movie or something, like in real life, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
so anybody in Tokyo, if you want Derek to come perform, I'll come perform.
I like it. If you'd like to pay for that flight,
I'll pull up on you.
Speaking of performing, I saw just randomly this morning on TikTok, Drew Holcomb, who's been on this show. He's a Nashville guy. He said, you know, they always say don't live life with any regrets. He said, but you know, I've lived enough life that it's okay to have a few regrets. In fact, I have one. Back in 2013, I was invited to come out and perform for a group of like crypto guys. They were really into crypto and stuff like that. It was like 50 people. It was out in like Wyoming, and they asked me to come out and perform for them. He said they wanted to pay me with 10 Bitcoin. And he said, I looked it up at the time and they were worth like $300. And he said, you know what, with all the travel and hotels and stuff like that, I can't swing this. Sorry. And he said, I think about that about every month. Like it's worth $1.2 million right now. 10 Bitcoins.
Man.
That's crazy.
Can you imagine turning down 10 Bitcoins in 2013?
Sorry, Drew. Drew. Yeah.
$1.2 million. Anyway. All right. Well, we have a great show in store for you today. Coming up, we talked to Sons of Sunday, the worship supergroup. You probably heard about them. They put out a new album recently. We talked to Pat Barrett and Chris Brown from there, but it also includes Chandler Moore, Brandon Lake, Stephen Furtick, Leland. So it's, like I said, a supergroup. But they're coming up. Also, at the end of the show, we have One Has to Go. But stay tuned. Right now, up next, it's Relevant Buzz. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Mercy Ships. Globally, 5 billion people lack access to surgical care. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's only one surgeon for every 200,000 people. Mercy Ships provides free, life-transforming surgeries for people who have little to no access to medical care. They help the blind see, straighten twisted limbs, remove deadly tumors, treat cleft conditions, and so much more. With state-of-the-art hospital ships, they provide safe surgery to children and adults living with treatable conditions, and it's completely free of charge. They do all this work with an all-volunteer crew of professionals who donate their time and talents. Surgeons, stewards, nurses, engineers, and more make the world a better place. Your donation today provides free, safe surgeries to people in desperate need of help. All gifts are matched, so please donate today at mercyships.org/relevant. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Tim Tebow's book, Look Again. Have you ever wondered what would change if you truly believed you were infinitely valuable to God? In his New York Times bestselling book, Look Again, Tim Tebow reveals the powerful truth that when we learn to see the image of God in every person, including those we struggle to love, everything changes. Tebow shares incredible stories from his work with people the world often overlooks, and it will challenge you to stand up to the lies, rediscover the worth that everyone has, and impact the world for good. Find Look Again by Tim Tebow, available now wherever books are sold. Okay, it's time for
Relevant Buzz.
Tell us what's happening at the intersection of faith and culture this week, Emily.
Okay, the first thing I want to bring up is Superman. Before I get into why I'm bringing it up, has everyone seen it?
Yes.
What do you think, Derek?
Yes. It's 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 for me.
Where does it rank? Because I told you it's my favorite superhero movie I've ever seen, but I'm not a superhero guy, so that's not saying very much. But I loved it. Where does it rank for you in superhero movies since you're deep in that world?
That's gonna be hard for me to say, but it's up there. It's definitely top 10. I think.
There you go.
I think it's top 10. I think it.
Are you a big Superman fan?
No, and that's why I like it. I'm not even a big Superman fan, but this was a great movie.
You're a Batman guy, right?
Yeah, I think what they did, the reason I like this one so much is it's different from what the genre is now. Just like what Dark Knight was different for what the genre is. It's almost like James Gunn was like, okay, let's make this about comic book movies again.
I liked that they humanized him. That was my favorite thing. It's like, I've told you the reason why I don't connect with the video game looking CG superhero stuff is you have to suspend all form of reality. Like this person, so the fact that they grounded him and with empathy, the fact that he bled, the fact that he showed a little bit of vulnerability, that to me, made me connect with the character in a way that I hadn't in the past. So I loved it. I thought no notes for me. I loved it.
Yeah, it's I love that that's what you connect with, because I think that's what most people connect with. And James Gunn, he released a statement on Monday just thanking fans for the support. And he said, or he clarified, we've had a lot of super in Superman over the years, and I'm happy to have made a movie that focuses on the man part of the equation.
Oh, for real? He said that?
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously it was intentional, but I mean, that was his goal. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. He said, I want a kind person who always looks out for those in need. That resonates so powerfully with so many people across the world and is in itself a hopeful testament to the kindness and quality of human beings.
What I liked too was that twist where we were kind of told the reason why I'm not going to spoil it. The reason why he did good is that he had a mandate to do good for humanity, right? And to find out that wasn't his actual mandate, and he had to struggle with, what do I do now? Do I do the right thing, or do I do what I was actually told to do? And he made the decision to care for others, and it said a lot about his character, and that we as people have the choice to be a good person or a bad person, or do good for others or be selfish, right? I mean, like he didn't want to amass power. He wanted to make the world a better place. And that was his choice. I love that autonomy that he got. So, because I think before it's just you're an alien robot doing what you were commanded to do. Right. And now it's no, you actually weren't commanded to do this. This is who you are.
Yeah, I like want to be this kind of person, this kind of superhero.
Like it says something. Like we all have that choice that we can make. I like that.
Well, I love that we all connected with that because I will say there is a group of people online who hated that part of Superman and actually hated Superman in general.
Yeah.
Basically the critique is, and I will say it is from mostly middle-aged men from what I've seen, who have real beef with this movie, is that they are upset that Superman kind of leans into his humanity too much. And to them, that makes him seem weak. They don't like that he loses fights. They don't like that he's almost empathetic to a fault. And they just have like some real beef with it. And
wait, are these like the podcast bros, like the right? I'm sorry, I'm not politicizing it, but I mean, is it like Andrew Tate, like Ben Shapiro-y world? I saw Ben Shapiro hated it. Yes,
Ben Shapiro, kind of that world. Just this, they have this idea of what a very macho, masculine man looks like, and to them, Superman doesn't live up to that because he just kind of leans into his humanity more. And I don't know. I think it's very telling about maybe where America is right now or where the world is.
It's like two Americas. How you feel about Superman says a whole lot about you.
Yes. Yeah.
Got it.
Your thoughts on Superman tell me everything I need to know about you. That's kind of the new
That's
test.
interesting. Yeah. Seriously, that's put it on Hinge or whatever. It's a first date question. What do you think about Superman?
And depending on that, it's either a swipe right or a swipe left automatically.
That's good. Interesting.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. I do also want to talk about Kat Von D. Now, we've talked about her before because back in 2023, she announced that she had been on a spiritual journey and she'd gotten baptized. And since then, she's laid pretty low about talking about her faith publicly.
Well, she did. She talked about she was going to a small church in Indiana or something.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When she first announced
it was like an old person church and all this kind of,
Yeah. When she first announced it, she kind of clarified like, she was going to a small church. I think it was Indiana. But since then she hasn't. I mean, we know that there's a lot of celebrities when it comes out that they're a Christian, they now almost do like a press tour, and it just seems like they're constantly talking about things, or their faith comes up a lot more. We don't really see her in the headlines, which in an Instagram post, she talked about why she did that. So earlier this month, she announced that she'd officially joined the Orthodox Church this past Easter.
Oh, she's converted to Orthodox now.
Yes.
So she got baptized at an evangelical church.
Yes.
And so now she's Orthodox. Oh,
now she's Orthodox. Yeah. So she had posted a video while she was in Europe on her tour recently. She used her time off to visit Orthodox churches, and she showed like a video montage of her just at these historic places exploring with her son. And while, yes, joining the Orthodox Church is definitely an interesting pivot, what I really want to hone in on is what she wrote in her Instagram caption. Like I said, since kind of coming out as a Christian, Kat has done a pretty remarkable job of being open about her faith online. Like, she will sort of share things, but she has been really careful about not making herself a spokesperson for Christianity. And she said that is because of advice that she's gotten from her priest. She says her priest encouraged her to wait at least a year before giving interviews so that she can better represent the church. And she wrote, "I never want to hide where I am spiritually, but I'm okay waiting until I'm better equipped to represent the church that I love so much."
Hey, that priest. Shout out to him. Because that ain't how it usually goes.
Well, it's interesting if like an influencer gets saved, all of a sudden they're a Christian influencer and they're talking, and they don't have any clue what they're talking about. And I appreciate their fervor and their zeal for God, but it's fraught with risk, right? And then on the other side, she converts to Orthodoxy, which isn't as zeal driven, obviously. And it's interesting that she converts to Orthodoxy and her priest said, don't talk about it until you're more mature in your faith and you know kind of what you're believing and what you're practicing. That's really wise.
Sometimes I just feel like evangelicalism, maybe it's because it's so young that it's this way. You know, Orthodox Catholicism, it feels, since it's a lot more rooted, maybe just because evangelicalism is so young, some of this stuff is really, really new. And I think that maybe that's the reason why there's such a push for celebrity and outward expressions. But shout out to this priest. I think that's protecting your member.
Yeah.
That's a wise way to protect your member.
Yeah. And I just think it's great advice, whether you're famous and have 10 million followers or whether you're not famous. Like, I think, there's advice for everyone here.
She didn't hide her light under a bushel either. She posted,
Right.
by the way, I've converted, but I'm not really going to do interviews to talk about it at length, but I just want to, like, this is an important part of my life. I just want to share it. So she can say, I've come to faith. I mean, in her situation, I've converted to Orthodoxy, but like a new Christian, like the influencer I referenced, like they could be like, hey, I've given my life to the Lord. I'm really excited about it, but I'm not going to like talk about it too much yet because I'm still a baby. And like, I wish they had that caveat of like, hey, I have become a Christian, but like, don't then act like you're a mature expert Christian right away.
Right.
You know? So.
Right. It's also interesting to, I don't know if y'all remember this, maybe a few weeks after she announced her baptism, she posted another video on Instagram saying that while there was a lot of support from non-Christians about her kind of coming out about her faith, she actually got some of her harshest criticism from Christians who were pretty nitpicky about her appearance and all these little things. And so I think that also is probably why she wants to be cautious coming forward, because she was not met with a lot of positivity.
Right.
You know what? Something I was talking with my mom about today is when you read the Bible, you could literally find whatever you want. If you want to find struggle, pain, hate, frustration, you can find it. And if you want to find joy, acceptance, love, you can find it there. And I often feel that a lot of people's perspectives of the Bible is less about what the word says and more about what they believe about themselves in light of what the word says. So if you believe that the Bible is, if you've never forgiven yourself, it's really hard for you to forgive somebody else. If you haven't accepted yourself, that you have flaws and that you're working through those flaws, it's really hard for you to accept that from somebody else, even if the scriptures tell you to do that, because you're going to be drawn to the scriptures where it has hard, real stances on certain things, but not the scriptures that say, be patient with people. And because you lack patience with yourself, you lack patience since you lack patience with the world, you lack patience with yourself. Or since you lack patience with yourself, you lack patience with the world, and you use the scriptures to justify your lack of patience just in general. And I think that's the unfortunate part about everybody having a bullhorn in their pocket to the world, especially when it comes to faith, because people expect Christians to be a lot more emotionally mature than some of them actually are. It's very frustrating.
Yeah. It does make me, like we said, obviously kudos to this priest for that great advice. It does make me wonder, like other celebrities over the year who have maybe come out about their faith and backslided a little bit, if they had maybe taken this advice, how their life would be different.
Yeah.
Moving on to the very last item on Buzz, I want to mention a study that came out recently that says Gen Z is more selective in their dating than previous generations.
Good. Take your time.
So the study found that members of Gen Z,
they're not out in these streets. Is that
Stay out the streets, Gen Z.
No, the study, which was conducted by eHarmony, found that Gen Z are more likely than older generations to consider shared beliefs as essential in a partner. So 28% of Gen Z said having different political views would be a deal breaker. And they also placed a higher importance on religious compatibility and shared social values compared to previous generations.
It's just cyclical. Gen Z are just boomers. That's all they are. They're just boomers. They're new boomers.
It's funny because one of the psychologists pointed out that Gen Z grew up hearing stories about couples and their parents, most likely, which would have been Gen Xers, who separated because of political and social differences. And so they see that as a serious sign of lack of compatibility rather than just a minor disagreement. So they're being more selective before they get into those marriages.
Bible talks about don't be unequally yoked. I mean, this is ancient wisdom,
Ancient wisdom.
It's interesting. What's also interesting is like you keep bringing these studies of like Gen Z, they don't drink, they don't do drugs. They're being more selective with dating. They're not sleeping around. They're not partying. Like
they're boring.
I mean, I'm not saying they're boring.
Just kidding.
But so
Kidding.
But like we're sitting there going like, oh, that's great, good for Gen Z. Like the pendulum's swinging the other way now. This is awesome. But then if you look at like Derek, I don't know if you've seen. There's a show on FX Hulu called Adults, and It's like a group of Gen Z. Basically, it's New Girl, Gen Z, New Girl. It's Gen Z friends from the 90s. You know what I mean? It's like 4 friends and 5 friends that living in New York together, blah, 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 and all that. And of course, it's super off color. Nick Kroll is the EP on it. So it's like, it's got that off color humor and stuff. But the showrunners are Gen Z. And I was watching it, and it's like, it's a well done show. I'm not recommending it, but, you know, because the content. But like, the thing that when Hollywood portrays Gen Z, and I'm not just talking about this one show, I'm talking about movies or whatever.
In general,
it's not what the surveys are saying. It's not what the research is saying. It's like they're all gender fluid. They're sleeping with everybody. They're doing drugs, you know, without any thought. They're more extreme than millennials. And I'm like, I think it's millennials writing these roles for what they think Gen Zers are like, but Gen Zers aren't actually like what Hollywood's showing them as.
So yeah, and I would also say this. We see that all the time. Like if you were to just watch TV and be like, who are black people? We all of us are gangbang shooters and twerk girls all twerk.
Or they're goofy like Malcolm and Eddie or whatever. They're like kind of silly or whatever. So,
overly churchy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like if you watch it's like they're overly churchy, you know, it's you know, and it's like, no, that's not really what it is. I think it's just what happens when Hollywood gets involved dang near with anything. They just overemphasize the parts of us a lot of times that are the most interesting. And oftentimes the most interesting things are the things that can be seen as flaws. So, but yeah, I was talking to my mom today. She was, we're talking about church, and she's like, oh yeah, this generation is just going down the drain. They don't go to church. I was like, well, actually, the stats say that they're joining the church at a higher rate.
They're the only demographic that have increased in their church attendance in the last decade.
Yeah, but a lot of that is because, you know, we only see some of the worst parts of the world. So, yeah.
And they're not making TV shows about kids going, like Gen Z going to church.
True that.
Or the reality of Gen Z, we know because of COVID and separation, isolation, they're lonely. They're the loneliest generation. They're detached. They stay home. They're online versus going out, being social, going to bars, things like that. So it's like, what's Hollywood going to show? A bunch of like lonely Gen Zers sitting around in an their individual apartments, like doing nothing? Because that's the reality. They're gaming or whatever. You know what I mean?
And then a lot of the stuff that we back when we grew up that looked like movements of God was like these big grandiose movements, like was it like acquire the fire type stuff? So it's like, since they don't have an acquire the fire type thing, there's this thought from our generation, the older generation, that they don't care about God. And it's like, no, it's not that. They just don't have a big spectacle to let the rest of the world know that that's where they're at.
And I do think a lot of the people who are saying like there's no young people in church, whatever, you're going to a church that doesn't have young people. Right. Because most of the young people are going to non-denom, honestly, mega churches. Like my church is predominantly under 30, 35. You know what I mean? Like 95% of the church would be under 35. So it's like, I don't know, that says something about the person who's saying it than it is reality or whatever. Because from my experience, I'd be like, man, no old people go to church anymore, man. This Gen Z boomers or Gen X boomers, they have fallen away from God. Like, I don't see them at church, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
See how silly that sounds, people?
Yeah. But anyway, Hollywood, do better. Like Cohen was walking through the room as I was flipping through Hulu, and he saw adults on the screen, like previously watched or whatever. He's like, how was that? Did you watch that? And I was like, yeah. You can't watch it, first of all. 2, I was like, it was good, but like it felt almost like we said, caricatures. And I said, I can't put my finger on it, but it felt like millennials wrote this for what they think Gen Zers are like. And it's like they thought the edginess and the crazy fluidity and all the whatever is like what defines Gen Z. And I was like, it just feels out of touch to me based on everything we know, like as scientific fact.
It's either millennials are writing what they think Gen Z's like, or like whoever these Gen Z people that created it, that's what they want their life to be like. And it's like, I just don't think that's...
it's not reality. It's an aspirational fantasy version of a Gen Z's living in New York kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like, this is Gen Z in theory, but not reality.
Interesting. All right.
I didn't think about that. That's crazy.
Yeah. A lot of Hollywood would be like that. Like they're portraying, like, think about Real Housewives of whatever. Like, they're portraying the aspirational, not this isn't reality kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, like even a lot of people who, write movies or shows based on their own life, they've kind of said like, yeah, I wish things played out differently, so I made a show about it. And it's like, yeah, so you're even admitting this is not reality. This is sort of based on a true story, but you changed it to be a better, more entertaining ending.
See, that's why I love La La Land, because they didn't do that. Gosh. They ended it in reality. This is
No, do you know my thoughts on La La Land? They're very clear. For anyone who doesn't know, I don't like the movie.
We have literally discussed La La Land for multiple hours in the last week because I rewatched it again. Derek, have you ever seen it?
Don't waste your time.
I'm like, I don't even know what this is about.
It's a love letter to LA. It's about young dreamers moving to LA to chase their dreams. One is in music, one is in acting. It's just that. And throughout it, it's a musical, which I don't like musicals, but I mean it's fantastic.
Oh, you already lost me.
You would have so much more fun at the Cowboy Carter tour.
Listen, here's what got me to watch it again, because I watch it a couple times a year. I watched it this weekend. Last week, I saw a quote from Christopher Nolan, who we were discussing on last week's show.
I rock with gold, Chris.
He said, one of my favorite movies that I rewatch several times a year is La La Land. He said, it's a masterpiece in directing, storytelling, and emotion. He said, I do not like musicals, but I love that movie. And I was like, I do too. Like, he gave me permission to love La La Land. And so I watched it again on Friday night. Man, it's unbelievable. You should watch it.
To be clear, it is technically a musical, but it is not like
it's so much more than that.
It's not like Grease or anything.
No,
it's not like a traditional musical.
It's very different. It's beautiful.
Only musical I liked was Wonka. I liked that one.
Okay.
That's cool. A hot take.
Yeah.
What about? Did you ever see The Greatest Showman?
You might be the first person to ever say that sentence.
Hey, look. I'm a very basic person.
What about Dreamgirls?
People with
speaking of Beyonce,
I forgot about Dreamgirls.
Let's put some respect on Dreamgirls. There we go.
Sorry, Dreamgirls. Yeah, that's numero uno. Yes,
there you go.
Absolutely.
All right. Anyway, that'll do it for Relevant Buzz. Make sure to check out relevantmagazine.com every day, where we are covering more stories like that. Thanks, Emily. All right, stay tuned. Up next, Sons of Sunday. Join us. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by John Mark Comer's book, Garden City, a book that speaks to the tension we all feel between work, rest, and purpose. The New York Times bestselling author John Mark Comer takes us to the scriptures to identify what it really means to be human and flips the script on the idea that who you are matters, not what you do. He shows that God created us for meaningful work and meaningful rest. Both matter. This book helps you ask and answer the big questions. Does God care where I work? Is there a direction for my life? So you can discern God's heart for your calling, your rhythms, and the way His Spirit wants to shape every part of your life. If you're longing for purpose and a more grounded way to live, check out the new hardcover edition of Garden City wherever books are sold. Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting godthesciencetheevidence.com. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Erwin McManus's book, The Barbarian Way. Some books don't just inspire you, they confront you. The Barbarian Way, now celebrating its 20th anniversary, is one of those books. If you felt the pull of God towards something deeper and wilder than the safe, predictable version of faith that we settle for, McManus reminds us that following Jesus was never meant to be tame. It's meant to awaken courage, passion, and purpose God placed inside us. He draws from the wild stories of Abel, Noah, Moses, Rahab, and others to remind us that following God wasn't meant to be tame. Safe faith isn't working. Step into the story God is writing for you. Choose passion, choose boldness, choose the barbarian way. Available now wherever books are sold. Well, our guests today are Pat Barrett and the good Chris Brown, not Chris Brown, the good Chris Brown, from Sons of Sunday. Earlier this year, Pat and Chris teamed up with Brandon Lake, Leland Mooring, Chandler Moore, and Elevation pastor Stephen Furtick to form the worship supergroup. They've dropped a self-titled album, and so we sat down with them to find out how some of the biggest names in worship came together. What was it like creating this secret project, and what's next? Here's our conversation with Sons of Sunday.
Anybody here can testify. If you got a story, I'll change your life. If you got a hallelujah, let it fly. Sing like you know the Most High, who came in the nick of time.
Well, I love that I'm getting to talk to the both of you about this new worship supergroup, Sons of Sunday. I'll start with you, Chris. How did this project come together?
This time last year, honestly. So we had actually Chan and Lee were just with us yesterday, and I did invite Pat, but he was a great father and went to his daughter's. Was it a dance recital?
It was like a musical theater recital.
Yeah.
She had one line.
but you can't miss that.
3-hour recital. The good news is I'm going to it again tomorrow.
Oh, man. A 3-night performance.
Yeah, it's a hat trick.
Okay. I think I was saying Lee and Chan were at church yesterday here, and we were talking about, I think it was this time last year that Pastor had he called and was like, I think I finally know what we should do with these songs, and we need to come up with some like Boys to Men meets Gaither group meets the Highwaymen situation. And what if we got all these guys together, and Pat and Brandon and Chan and Lee, and he wasn't originally going to sing, and then I think we convinced him to sing. So here we are. Yeah, we threw some magic dust in the fire, and it all actually aligned on one date in September to record, and finally out.
Got the devil below me, 'cause I'm running with angels. Got the devil below me, 'cause I'm running with angels. Got the devil below me, 'cause I'm running with angels.
And Pat, how does it feel to have this sort of secret project out in the world?
For me, I can't listen to the whole album without just like smiling the whole time. I just feel like there's like, more than there's memory side of it, but there's also like the songs, like living with them and having like some mileage behind the scenes before the album came out. And I'm always curious, like, do people feel like what I felt when I heard these songs, or when we got some of these recordings back? I was shocked, probably because you spend it's like a 3-day blitz together, doing as much as you can, and it's a blur. It's a beautiful blur, but it's a blur. And then you start to hear back like what happened, and it was just so moving. I remember playing some of the songs for my mom for the first time when I got some of the original just roughs back, and I watched my parents like in tears, kind of experiencing what was so moving to me. So, the thought of like now everybody getting to, have a piece of that experience too is just always amazing. I always look forward to that part.
So let the chariots chase me, 'cause I'm moving at God's speed. Let the chariots chase me, 'cause I'm moving at God's speed. Oh, let the chariots
Now, let me make sure I'm getting this right, Chris. Y'all made this entire album in just 3 days?
Yeah. We had 3 days, all of us together. And this is fine to go on record. My memory, Pat, you did a show the night before, right?
Yes.
Somewhere else. So
Yeah.
this is what I was going to say. It's fine to make public. Pat comes in because he had done a show just in another city the night before. He's flying in early, like the gracious friend that he is, early Monday. He's the last to arrive, but only by an hour. But when Pat shows up anywhere on scene, it is just a Tasmanian devil situation. And the first thing out of his mouth is like, who am I going to kiss on the mouth first?
Yeah, there were no takers.
Yeah, that should also be.
That should be on record as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that's needless to say. I didn't necessarily have to say that, but we had 3 days in September where of just this past year that we got together in that chapel that you've maybe seen on some of the videos, and it was a blitz, like Pat was just saying. It was, I don't know, 3-4 days a song, or 3-4 songs a day that we were, some of us trying to learn, because we didn't all write every one of these songs together. They had been written with Pat, or Pat and Brandon, and just with Chan, or some with Lee, or whatever. And so there's also this like this kind of going in, at least for me, I was like, this is kind of exciting. And granted, I had lived with them all these songs a lot, but I still felt like this excitement of like, I don't know how these songs are going to shape up, because none of us, all 6 of us, have not been in the same room at the same time. I don't think Chan and Lee had actually ever met in person, ever been in the same room together until that time. But of course, knew one another. But to see that, wonder like, how is all this fun chemistry and genuine chemistry that we have going to work when we're all together in one room? And are we going to accomplish anything, actually? Or is anything going to be productive?
Trying to wrestle with all the pain and hell I was dealing with. Punching holes, throwing blows, pitching fits, trying not to drown. Wasn't feeling like I was good enough. I knew I just couldn't ever keep this up. Started sinking underneath from all this endless overthinking. How can I forget? I can't forget spending funny days in the wilderness.
It's really interesting to hear that not everyone had even met before y'all started recording. Pat, I'd love to hear from you. How did you all determine who was going to be a part of this group?
we wrestled. Tournament style. I actually don't know. I think I remember the phone call I received, which this is one of my favorite.
Please.
This is one of my favorite stories of all time with me, because my phone rang and I saw Steven Furtick's name pop up, and I was on a vacation. I was like, babe, I'm going to take this. It's like, what's up? I'm just so excited. It's got to be something important. And I hear his voice say, hey, do you want to be in an all, and then the phone broke up. And I heard the letter M and then the letter L. An all side project, and he just named everybody. And my brain filled in the word metal. I was like, I get to be in a metal band with Chris Brown and Chandler and Leland. Where do I say? I mean, take me. What about mine drums? I'll do anything. I don't care what I do. And we got a little further into the conversation, and I was like, wait, did you say metal? And he was like, no, I said male, all male. And I was like, oh. So originally, I didn't even say yes to this. I said yes to something way better than this. Way better than this. And at the end, I was like, yeah, I guess I'll still do this, but I'm kind of into this metal thing right now.
From the bottom and I saw you. It was all you. I looked up. I remember when I looked up. From the bottom and I saw you. It was all you.
Now, now, everyone in the group is a songwriter who obviously makes their own music. So how did you determine what was going to be a song for Sons of Sunday and, Pat, what was going to be like a Pat Barrett song?
There's been so many writing trips together. Like Chris said, not always in the same room, everybody at the same time, but certainly there's been a lot of those over the last few years. And I think one of the wildest parts of songwriting is after you write something, it doesn't mean anyone's going to hear it. Like it could sit for years in a folder because it's not the right time, or it's not the right project, or it's not the right, it just doesn't fit right now. Or there's always a million questions after you write a song that start with where does this belong? What do we do with it? Who sings this song? And part of that is just kind of leaning into whatever a couple years ago, I did like a really prayerful project, and I had a bunch of songs that fit that category that I didn't feel like they all belonged on a record that I did, but they were written around the same time. And I think with this, there were a lot of songs written together that like, oh, these aren't Elevation songs. Didn't seem like maybe there's a different road for them. And sometimes when you just wait for that path to appear, it fires your creativity in a different way. And just because you're part of making something that doesn't feel like it has the outlet right now, it doesn't mean that it won't. Or it doesn't mean that, you can't build a road later that feels really fun. And in a lot of ways, doing it this way, like songs that didn't feel like they were rhythm songs, or didn't feel like they were Elevation songs, or didn't make any other album, but still felt really important and meaningful and fun, and like they belonged. This eclectic group of songs belong somewhere. And in the same way that you would listen through the track list and be like, there's a lot of genres happening. So you got like swampy stomp clap, thematic music. You have like really sweet gospel sounding invitational music. Like it felt like it was shared in the same way it was created, which is cool. Like different personalities represented and different expressions even. And I think that's why it felt so fun. You get together and you record it and you're already having a good time, you're laughing, but you're also like on task and knowing we have a limited amount of time, and the whole time you realize like this is low pressure because of the friendship, but it's high risk because to get all this in, all this equipment in this church and get everybody in there to change your schedules, like there's a lot riding on these days that you have no idea what the outcome will be. And that's what songwriting always feels like. That's what sharing music always feels like. And in a lot of ways, that's what any type of, moment in worship feels like, or prayer, where there's an openness to whatever happens next because you just don't know. All you know is that you're here and you're ready, and, you have a hunch that God's in it. So I'm actually really thankful that these songs didn't find a place when they were written, so that a place could appear later.
Testify of grace. What more can I say? But hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. 'Cause you gave me one more.
And Chris, what would you say tied the songs on this project together? Was there a theme or a message that you all were trying to convey?
I don't know if I've thought about a theme. I would echo back to what Pat said earlier. There was just such a genuine joyfulness that week that I feel like throughout the album, whether it's like how it opens with God Did, there's such a smile on that song. And then Running with Angels is like, to me, is like a different type of smile. And then like just little jam sessions like What Didn't He Do or All Back and Holy Ghost. There's I do think like if there's a thread, it just is like, man, there was a kindredness to our spirits that week that didn't feel contrived, and it did feel like low pressure, like he said, but also like kind of it. I think we all were really aware of like it's a gift to have a space to take something that is mysterious sometimes and is a waiting game, like when you write songs and they do sit on your phone because they haven't found the right spot to go, but you genuinely love the songs. And I think that week was like a gift that everybody was like leaned in, and everybody's schedules aligned, and everybody just was like, hey, we got 3 days. We're fully here, man. Let's make the most of it. And it's kind of low pressure what happens on the other side. Like whatever we get, we get, and we want it to be great, of course. But I think like I will personally, I think, look at this album as like such a prize of like, this is a moment in time of great friendship that just is like a gift to have in released form, that we got to record these songs. And so hopefully people feel that. And, Pat, like it could have been a Valley Boys release, and it wasn't. So it was Emily, Valley Boys was a precursor to Sons of Sunday.
It was. This is not the first side project on Elevation Records. Like, I think we're gonna release some of these songs under the pseudonym Valley Boys. I was like, why? It was like, it just sounds fun. I was like, let's go. Is it metal? That was my next question.
I just want to say thank you for one more day, one more day, one more day, one more day. You've been there the whole time. You've been there my whole life. Just want to say you're everything to me,
That was Pat Barrett and the good Chris Brown from Sons of Sunday. Make sure to check out their self-titled debut album. It's out now. All right, stay tuned. Up next, it's One Has to Go. Well, today's podcast is brought to you in part by the new book, Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic. Author Jonathan Seidel knows firsthand how even believers can get stuck in shame and destructive habits, especially when it comes to one of society's biggest obsessions, alcohol. In Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic, he details his spiral into disordered drinking and shares the 4-step process he eventually used to break free. There's hope for alcoholics who become Christians and for Christians who become alcoholics. Find Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic wherever books are sold. What if you could change a child's life with just $10? Right now, thousands of vulnerable children in East Africa are suffering from jiggers. It's a painful, preventable parasite that burrows into their feet. Soul Hope is the only organization treating it through foot washing, medical care, and durable closed-toed shoes that protect kids long after treatment. $10 may not seem like much in today's world, but when we come together, those small gifts add up to big change. Join the 10 for 10 campaign. $10 protects 10 small toes. Visit soulhope.org/10 to give now. One small gift makes a big difference. Again, that's Soulhope, SOLE, hope.org/TEN. Okay, it's time for
One Has to Go.
All right, one has to go. I'm going to tell you 4 things. You tell me one that has to go. Emily, we're going to start with you. Childhood animated classics. Toy Story, Shrek, Finding Nemo, and The Lion King. One has to go.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is tough.
Diabolical, by the way.
Lion King is my favorite Disney movie, so that has to stay. Shrek, a classic film.
It's the only one of them that's actually funny. Like, there's actual humor in it.
It is going to be between... Okay, it's Finding Nemo or Toy Story.
Uh-huh. But here's the question. Is it Toy Story 1 or is it Toy Story 3 or gut-wrenching?
I'm going to... I'll do original. Yeah, I'll do original. I think I'm gonna get rid of Finding Nemo.
It's because you're not a dad.
Well, yes. Also, the deep ocean terrifies me, and I don't think Finding Nemo helped.
I'm sorry. Any father-son thing, those movies, they get me. They get me.
Do it.
Yeah, and for some reason, those just don't really connect to me in a way I can relate to. Can't put my finger on why.
Can't put my finger on why.
But for some reason.
Valid. All right. Last week we asked you about, I think it was chicken restaurants, Derek, pizza chains. Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, Domino's, or Papa John's. One has to go. Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, Domino's, Papa John's.
Little Caesars, Pizza Hut, Domino's,
Papa
or
John's.
Papa John's.
See, here's the thing about I would immediately say Little Caesars, but you can't. The $5 hot and fresh, $5 hot and fresh, and it's like there's a period of life where like you're living on those. You know what I mean?
I think it's Domino's for me, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
I agree.
Oh, sorry. I love Domino's. If I'm ordering, I'm probably ordering from Domino's.
Hey, Domino's might be out of here for me. Well, no, you know what? I ain't had a Pizza Hut pizza in a minute.
Me neither, but so many childhood memories were like Friday night with your friends, Pizza Hut, Blockbuster.
It might be Domino's. The $5 hot and ready ain't going nowhere.
Right.
It ain't going nowhere.
Papa John's is the only one I actually order other than if we're going out for nice pizza because after every Orlando Magic win, Papa John's is half off the next day.
Shakaroni's. We got to get the shakaroni.
Like, I ate so much pizza. When your team is good, I eat way too much pizza. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, Emily, teen movie queens. Lindsay Lohan, Hilary Duff, Amanda Bynes, or Anne Hathaway. One has to go.
This actually might be the most difficult question anyone in my entire life has ever asked me.
Diabolical.
Okay. So Lindsay Lohan, Hilary Duff, Amanda Bynes, Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I really don't know if I can pick this one. Because they kind of all raised me in many ways. So they're like mothers to me.
You might not want to follow the example of your mother, Amanda Bynes. That would be the one thing.
No, I have a really soft spot for her. I'm going to keep her around because I think I could help her. She just needs me. I am so sorry to the Queen of Genovia. I think I'm going to get rid of Anne Hathaway.
Thank you.
And I know because you're a Hatha hater and it kills me.
I hate her.
But
I don't hate her as a person. I don't like her acting.
Which isn't the most, it's insane. It's absolutely horrific to me. But I'm so sorry, Anne. I love you so much. I had to pick.
You made the right choice.
I'm sweating.
All right, Derek, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, Chris Pratt, or Chris Pine. One has to go.
Chris Pine.
Really?
Whoa, that was so quick.
So quick.
You just said all MCU goats.
I know, I did.
Hemsworth,
Okay.
Evans, who was the other one?
Pratt.
I'm not getting rid of none of them gang from MCU.
Yeah, I got you.
Pine is out of here.
Pine was in DC. He was in DC.
So? Bye.
What was he in DC?
Wonder Woman's love interest.
Yeah, get him out of here for that terrible movie. Get him out of here. Yeah. You know what? You just gave me another reason to get him out. He go.
Wait, this kills me because he was in Princess Diaries 2 with Anne Hathaway.
Oh, no. He
which
was.
I love. The royal engagement. Oh,
That's
kills
right.
me.
Okay. Emily, festival headliners. Beyonce, Kendrick Lamar, Harry Styles, or Rihanna? One has to go.
My gosh. I'm going into this document next week and making them easier for me. I think it might be Rihanna solely because I mean, I love Rihanna. She has like incredible hits.
She did the Super Bowl halftime pregnant. What do you, come on.
I know, and it was really great. So you are making me question this now. But I mean, I famously have loved Harry Styles for like half my life, so I can't get rid of him. Love Kendrick. I just saw Beyonce and like I would go see her again. I think it has to be Rihanna. She hasn't done any new music too. If she does new music, then we can talk. But until then, she's got to go.
All right, Derek, fashion collabs. Yeezy and Adidas, Nike and Off-White, Supreme and Louis Vuitton, or Crocs and Balenciaga. One has to go.
Get them Crocs out of here.
I knew it. As soon as I read it, I was like, Well, duh.
Get them Crocs out of here.
Can we just get Crocs gone in general,
Wait.
not just the
Balenciaga's cool, but it's not even my favorite. Like out of those 3 brands,
Balenciaga to me is just not even fashion. They're just like shtick and gimmick. The fact that they do like $3,000 trash bags and stuff, I'm just like, come on.
It's a lot.
I was kind of hoping with that one that Derek would be like, I'm a massive Crocs fan, and like you like have like every Croc color available.
I mean, I'm wearing Crocs now. I don't
Are
have
you
nothing against
kidding me?
Crocs. Yeah. I don't have anything against Crocs at all. It's just I've just Balenciaga Crocs for $3,000 are not interesting to me at all. It's just for no reason.
All right, Emily, seasonal vibes, summer road trips, fall festivals, winter cabin retreats, spring picnics. One has to go.
Spring picnics, because as beautiful as it is, there's going to be a million bugs outside, and I don't do bugs. That is not for me. That's not a life I live.
There's ways to prevent bugs from bothering you very easily.
Yeah, you get the spray, whatever, but it doesn't work. One of those little determined bugs is determined to ruin my picnic, so I'm not doing it.
All right. Okay. Culture collabs, Derek. Gaming collabs, Fortnite and Travis Scott. Sneaker collab, Dior and Jordan. Fashion collab, Louis Vuitton and Supreme. Or fast food collab, Travis Scott and McDonald's. One has to go. That Travis Scott meal at McDonald's was actually really good.
I didn't have it. What was the other one? Jordan and Dior?
Jordan and Dior. That was the sneaker collab. Fashion is Louis Vuitton and Supreme. Or gaming is Fortnite and Travis Scott. Or fast food.
I think, honestly, I'm going to get rid of the Jordan Dior junk.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Travis Scott Fortnite is goated. It's never not. I mean,
it's
it
great.
literally changed video games.
It totally
so it's
did.
like you got to keep that. I think also Travis Scott and the Happy Meal they did, it changed like brand deals for artists in general. And then
100%.
what was the other one?
The fashion
It was
one.
the Supreme. Yeah.
Yeah,
or
fashion. It's Louis Vuitton and Supreme.
Louis Vuitton and Supreme. Come on. We already know it's
So,
going
yeah, I
on
mean,
there.
streetwear
So-
going to high fashion. That was groundbreaking.
Come on, that's groundbreaking. Dior, Jordan, you don't hear nothing else about that. Like it's not world changing.
Agreed.
Out of
Yeah,
those three.
and sneaker
Good
collabs are
point.
pretty common. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. Okay. All right, Emily, I got another one for you. Rom-com leads. Meg Ryan, Julia Roberts, Reese Witherspoon, or Sandra Bullock. One has to go.
You are the jigsaw killer of these questions. Torturing my sister right now.
Now we're really talking about mothers who raised me. This is so.
The wrong
Okay.
answer is Meg Ryan. You got it. You got mail
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Seattle. You can't touch
No,
that.
iconic. No one's touching her.
Julia Roberts, iconic. Reese Witherspoon, Sandra Bullock.
Like again, I mean, I don't know why this is so. This is probably the most stressed I've been in months.
Then you need to work harder.
Okay, I'm working just fine, actually. I am so sorry. It's gonna be Julia Roberts.
What? Over Reese?
Listen, I loved Legally Blonde so much.
Okay,
Like
all right.
that. I almost became a lawyer because of that movie, and then I found out how much school was involved. Like, I love Reese Witherspoon, and she's also in one of my all-time favorite comfort movies, which is a movie called Home Again, which I think me and 4 people watched. But it's
Is that
so
where she
good.
goes back home to Alabama? Like it's a Hallmark movie?
No, that is Sweet Home Alabama.
Got it.
Different movie. Also great though.
All right.
that's
Okay.
tough.
Derek, DC superheroes. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and The Flash. One has to go.
How's it feel, Derek?
It gotta be the Flash, because Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, that's the big 3 of all comic book characters in general. So it gotta be the Flash.
The Flash is a notch down from that. Yeah.
But I didn't think you were are you a bigger Marvel fan than DC fan?
I love them all.
You love them all? Okay.
I love them all. I just didn't like the DCU, like the film version
Sure.
of it, except for the Nolan movies. But yeah.
What do you
But I
think
love
about
them.
what'd you think about the portrayal of like Green Lantern and Mr. Terrific?
Perfect.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like, especially Guy Gardner, because he's supposed to be like a aloof jerk in that way. So Nathan Fillion killed that.
I didn't know anything about his character other than I knew there was a Ryan Reynolds movie that flopped 10, 15 years ago. And so like the fact that they made him like, you know, big ego, insecure, that was hilarious to me.
So that's a different lantern too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Those are two different lanterns. So Guy Gardner is like a different, so it's a lantern cord. It's like multiple lanterns.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so not just one guy.
Didn't know. All right, last round. Here we go. Emily, SNL, Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, Bill Hader, or Jason Sudeikis. One has to go.
I wish I could see Emily's face when he says these questions. It's like literally torture.
Wait, you don't see her face on the screen?
No, she's saying like the listeners.
The listeners. I wish those that are listening to the audio version of this pod could actually see her face. It's literally like he's just, with every person he names, is like punching her in the face.
Yeah,
like, it's just like
that would actually probably feel better if he did that instead of asking me these questions.
Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, Bill Hader, or Jason Sudeikis?
I mean, this is like an impossible question. I think it's Jason Sudeikis.
Oh my gosh.
I know. There's no right answer. Who's your pick?
Kate McKinnon. She's great. She's great, but
that was definitely the wrong answer.
I'm even thinking of like what they've done after SNL. That's kind of in my brain too.
Yeah,
Jason
those T-Mobile
Sudeikis,
commercials,
iconic.
she's crushing it.
Bill Hader, iconic with Barry. Jason Sudeikis with, you know,
Kate was in Barbie,
soccer.
which
Kristen
I did
Wiig
love.
with Bridesmaids and other stuff. Like, I know Kate was weird Barbie, I know, but I'm saying she's kind of like a tier down. Like The Flash was a tier down from those other three. You know what I'm saying?
Post career, I would say, I guess Kate. I'm thinking about like
On
the
SNL.
iconic sketches on SNL.
Yeah, you're right. All right, last one. Here we go. DC supergroups. Derek, Justice League, Teen Titans, Suicide Squad, or Birds of Prey? One has to go.
Getting them birds out of here.
I don't even know that reference. What is it?
That's
It's
Harley Quinn's group, right?
Yeah, Harley Quinn. It's the girls. It's Harley Quinn, Huntress, a bunch of different girls, and I'm cool. We straight. Give me just Suicide Squad.
Just normal Suicide Squad, yeah.
Yeah, just we good.
There you go. All right, well, that'll do it for One Has to Go. Make sure to play along. We are posting these on our stories at the Relevant Podcast Instagram account. It is really funny watching the results because people rarely agree with us.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
You know, I have.
And people comment, they'll message us like, how dare, you know, they have strong opinions about some of these One Has to Goes. It's really funny.
Yeah.
So fight me then.
Derek,
Fight me.
We got messages from residents of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina this week.
Oh, we did.
Did they? Oh,
You
man.
did
They were
not.
like, you need to come
You
back.
need to come
and do
back
it right.
and you need to see our real city because they were offended that you didn't have a good time.
Oh man, hey, look, Myrtle Beach. Listen, I need some relevant podcast people to give me the tour because last time I was there, y'all was lacking. All I saw was pancake houses. So y'all got to put me on to the real deal.
People were saying that, like, Derek, come back. I'll tell you all the spots, blah, blah. And I literally was reading these messages thinking to myself, Derek ain't going back.
Hey, look, I'll give it a second chance. I'm down with giving it a second chance.
But you're not going to give it a third chance, so they really got to make it.
You got to show. You got to show out. You gonna have to show out, buddy.
Bring out the mayor. Like, you got to pull all the stuff.
Show out, bruh.
Well, thanks again to Pat and Chris from Sons of Sunday for joining us today. Make sure to check out their brand new album, Sons of Sunday. It's out now. I already mentioned following Relevant Podcast on IG. Make sure to follow Relevant Magazine on IG too. We're posting our best content there and all the socials. We're posting more of our articles on the other socials, Facebook and Threads and all, et cetera, et cetera. If you want to get our best content in your inbox each week, make sure to sign up for our free weekly newsletter, Relevant This Week, where we send you our top trending stories. All right. On that note, we'll wrap things. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Derek Miner.
I'm Emily Brown.
We'll see you next Friday. Have a great week, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Make sure to check out our coverage at the intersection of faith, life, and culture every day at relevantmagazine.com. And while you're there, don't miss our latest digital issue. Issue 116 features Nate Bargatze, Connor Price, and a lot more. And don't forget Relevant Plus. It's the best way to experience our content, including ad-free reading, an ad-free version of this podcast, and more. You can get all the info and sign up at relevantmagazine.com.
I'm going to keep her around because I think I could help her.
Relevant Podcast Network.